Hello everybody, welcome all. I've come up with the third video pertaining to accounting equation. In my first video, I explained to you the basics of accounts, the basic terms. In the second video, I introduced accounting equation. I solved one question, and today we are going to solve the second question on accounting equation. On one side of the screen, I hope it's visible. The question is there, and on the left hand side and on the right hand side I'm going to solve it. So I'm reading it out. Question number 2. Let me maximize the screen. Show the accounting equation on the basis of the following and present a balance sheet on the last new equation balance. Like I did in the previous video, based on the last equation which we get for the last transaction, we prepare the balance sheet. So first transaction says Manu started business with cash rupees 50,000. Okay, so how are we going to reflect it in the accounting equation? I told you the basics. You need to first write the accounting equation. Liabilities plus capital is equal to assets. And I told you to draw vertical lines so that there's a column created under the three items. Liabilities, under liabilities there's a column, under capital there's a column, and under assets there's the third column. So the first transaction was Manu started business with cash rupees 50,000. This we have done in the previous video. So in the business, what's coming in? A new asset, cash. How much? Everything is in rupees basically, so I'm not writing the symbol for rupee again and again. 50,000. And the money with which you start business is called capital. So under capital also you're going to show 50,000. Okay, this was the first transaction. Here we'll put the serial number. Okay, now let's see what's the second transaction. So here's your second transaction on the screen. Bought furniture for rupees 500. Bought furniture for rupees 500. So I'm putting number 2 here under the serial number. Bought furniture for rupees, just a moment, let me just see that. I repeat, bought furniture for rupees 500 only. Okay, so we must have purchased for cash, as the name of the shopkeeper has not been given. So 50,000 cash you copy from the previous equation minus rupees 500. Okay, because 500 rupees have been paid in cash to the person from whom we have purchased the furniture. Although the word cash is not given over there, okay, but the name of the supplier is also not given and the word credit is not mentioned. So we'll assume that we must have purchased on cash. We are left with 49,500 cash in the cash box, and a new asset has been acquired, and so I'm mentioning that furniture, the new asset under the assets column of rupees 500. So on one hand, one asset called cash gets decreased by 500, and on the other hand, another asset is created in the business of rupees 500. So they offset each other, they nullify each other, hence the total is going to come to 50,000 only on the asset side. Capital you will copy as it is. And I draw this line, and now we move on to the third transaction. Let's read the third transaction. Okay children, the third transaction is purchase goods on credit for rupees 4,000. purchased goods on credit for rupees 4,000. When you purchase goods on credit, the cash is not affected. So cash I'm copying from the previous equation, that is the second equation as it is. Okay, furniture remains the same at rupees 500, and I've told you in my previous video that when we buy goods, we don't write goods, but that is called stock of goods. Okay, so we have purchased it for 4,000 children, which has value. Obviously stock of goods has value, and anything of value is your asset. Okay, hence on the asset side I have shown a new asset by the name of stock, rupees 4,000. Capital remains the same at 50,000, and as we have purchased on credit these goods, so a liability has been created, but in the question the name of the supplier is not given. Hence, we will mention supplier or the word creditor we can write. Okay, either supplier or the word creditor you can mention over here. Supplier from whom we have purchased, and I'm mentioning in the brackets creditor. Creditor is the person from whom we buy goods on credit. So 4,000 I have to show under the liabilities side. So now let's add up the asset side, the right hand side. So 49,500 cash plus 500 rupees of furniture, that makes it 50,000, plus stock of 4,000, that makes the total 54,000 worth of assets. On the left hand side we have liabilities and capital. You can see 4,000 of liability, supplier, that is liability, and capital of 50,000, that comes to 54,000 on the left hand side, 54,000 on the asset side. So hence accounting equation balances. Children, one request and one advice that whenever you see this, you're watching this video, accounting as it's a practical subject, be ready with your register and pen and try to copy. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's move to the next transaction. So transaction number 4, sold goods on cash. In brackets the cost is given to be rupees 500, means the goods which have been sold for cash had the cost price of rupees 500, but outside in the amount column it's given 700, means we have sold for cash goods whose cost price was 500 rupees, but we have sold for 700, means cost price is 500 and SP, selling price is 700. So obviously the profit becomes how much? SP minus CP, selling price minus cost price, is your profit. 700 minus 500 is 200. Okay, that's something easy which you do in maths in junior classes. So 50,000 capital I'll copy, and remember in my previous class I told you if there's a profit, that has to be added to the capital. So hence under capital, that's the middle item, I'm going to add up 200. Okay, just ignore this plus sign I have made twice, so don't mind that. 50,200 becomes my new capital balance. Okay, fine. Then what will happen? Cash, which was 49,500 in the previous equation, I've copied that. Cash will increase, but by how much? By the selling price. So I'm mentioning SP because the customer is going to pay us the selling price. So plus 700 I'll add up in the cash. I repeat, in the cash I'll have to add up the selling price because we are receiving the selling price from the customers. 7 and 5 makes it 12, carry 1, 0, carry 1, 50,200. So my cash balance becomes 50,200 children. Furniture I'm copying as it is from the previous equation. My presentation is a bit different for clarity purpose. Okay, it's vertical way of presenting things. Now furniture remains at 500 children, as you can see, and stock will decrease because when we sell we will pack the goods and give away to the customer. So stock, which is 4,000 in the previous equation, I have copied that, but from the stock I will deduct the cost price of the goods. Cost price of the goods was how much? 500. Okay, from the stock always we deduct the cost price, because the stock of goods which we have purchased and it's being recorded here 4000 is the purchase price, the cost price. Okay, so remember this. So we are left with how much of stock? 3500. Fine. We'll do that. And supplier, you have to copy. Supplier or creditor, you need to copy as it is from the above equation, so that there is clarity of thought and clarity of presentation for every equation. Okay. So I scroll down the screen, and now we move on to the fifth transaction. Let's see what's there in the fifth transaction. So I'm coming back to the question. Fifth one says received rent 200, means the owner of this business must be having, Manu, that is the owner, must be having, property which he has let out to a tenant, and from that tenant, kirayadar, he is receiving rent of rupees 200. So children, as rent is being received, in this case it's an income, and incomes, remember, have to be added to the capital. So middle column is of capital. 50,200 I have copied, children, and I'm going to add over here 200 rupees of rent being received, because it's an income. So income, gains, profits have to be added to the capital. So my capital becomes, children, 50,400. I hope it's clear. And then we must have received this rent from the tenant in the form of cash. So what is going to happen to the cash? Cash which in the previous one, you can see the balance 50,200. I've copied that from above. Rent is being received in the form of cash. So we have to add 200 rupees in the cash. So in the cash box of the business, now the cash has become how much? 50,400. Remaining things remain the same as above. So I'm copying down furniture as it is. Okay, 500, and I copy the stock down with the previous balance, which is we were left with 3500. And also on the liability side, I need to copy the supplier of rupees 4000. I mean, you can mention in brackets creditor. Okay, so we are through with the fifth equation. I'll have to scroll down the screen. Just wait. Oh, okay. Just wait. Just wait. Have patience. Wait for a while. Okay, fine. So here we are. Okay. On the next page, I need to show to you, the sixth transaction, which I'm going to read through. It's in continuation, children. I'm just writing in abbreviated form, abbreviation. L for liabilities plus capital is the middle column, and here it's the assets column. Okay, in continuation. So let's refer to the question. We are on the sixth one. Okay, I'll maximize the screen. Purchase goods for cash. Sixth transaction. Purchase goods for cash for rupees 1000. Purchase goods for cash for rupees 6000. So on your asset side, obviously when we are purchasing for cash, on the asset side, cash will decrease by 6000. So 50,400 is the cash in the previous equation. I will deduct, just a moment, let me just confirm the figure. Sorry, it's 1000. Purchase goods for cash, rupees 1000. Okay. So I'll minus 1000 from cash.